Homies, come on in. Good day, but a little lackluster. And not in the sense that I didn't really get to try and do something worthwhile. It's always going to be worthwhile. You know, I know that for a fact, and it's not just something that I have to be proven to by the numbers. It's something that I truly believe from the sake of just my own training, you know, the effort that I put in every single day and the importance of it, you know? And, oh man, I know I was really boasting about my volume yesterday, but it is coming to kick me right now. I feel beaten, and it's not a bad thing. The goal was to absolutely abuse my core and push through all the volume I could to make the conditioning really, really hard so that when I get back on any normal type of programming, it feels really good. Oh man, the absolute atrocity that those infinite sets I did yesterday, that what they did to my core was not even funny. Oh man, I ate so bad, I got in really late, just all the things that make you feel like you can't lift, but all in all, still put in good effort. You know, on clean and jerk, I really did try hard to keep the effort up. I'm still doing the same volume every set just for the sake of that conditioning, but I'm not going up by 10 pounds at a time like I did yesterday. It was just too much to even think about trying. You know, it was a lot. So it was just same normal 20-pound jumps as I used to be doing, but now still just doing the same volume every set, and doing several sets of triples on clean and jerk is still really, really hard. It will burn you out. I really miss just being able to do a couple singles and then that good top set and just chill out from there, you know, and then go hard as I want on my squats. But this is the sacrifice I have to make. You know, I need to be able to feel out that kind of excess strain in my shoulder while it's finally recovering. Today, especially after yesterday, the theory of pushing the volume is working. You know, my shoulder is getting stronger. There's way less soreness already. I already feel more confident in the catches. It's still tough to push through, but it is slowly coming back. You know, I don't know if it's going to be good this week or at the end of next week, but either way, I am confident it's soon. That is what is really, really important. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I felt wonderful today, that I was all hyped up. I wasn't, but on those kinds of days, you need to put in as much effort as your body will allow you with good technique that won't risk injury while, you know, just accepting a little deload. It's kind of, this is why I'm not used to this kind of training program, where most people would think that what I'm doing is pretty simple, pretty easy, or pretty typical, because it's just more volume than it is weight stuff, and I get it. That's how a lot of people train, but it's not me. I'm not used to that kind of conditioning. I don't do any cardio, and this feels like cardio, or at least yesterday's workout did, and made today's workout even harder. The good news is all my main muscle groups are like really strong. My low back was very strong today, but it was just my core just could not settle. I couldn't really hold it where it needed to be. But either way, the top sets were beautiful. Even if they weren't as high as I thought they would be, that doesn't matter. I put in the good effort, and the deload is going to be what's necessary to get me stronger next time. You know, on the clean and jerks, got up to 255 and felt pretty decent, you know, but it definitely wasn't all of my effort. But again, I'm not trying to go balls to the walls right now. I got to relax just enough so that I can really crush it next week. Because even if I'm not fully recovered, I still want to get back into the comfortable heavy stuff so that I'm really peaked when I get back in the normal program again. I think the main thing is just really making sure that I lock in the technique while I'm burning through so many reps and sets. Because that's going to be what makes my shoulder recover the best. You know, it's not so much about just letting go and doing whatever I want like I typically do. I have to stay humble just for a little bit. But again, the top set was really, really good. It was very consistent, very solid, even if my core didn't feel that great. You know, it felt like I was whipping 275, 285 when it was only 255, but that's just what happens, you know? Back squat wasn't too much different, especially after doing a core dominant exercise like clean and jerks. It was really hard to hold my squats very steady, but my low back and legs were actually really primed, so I didn't have to really worry a whole lot about my form and like holding it through the whole ass to grass positioning. But I guarantee I got up to 385, and on the normal program, I'd be doing that for sets. But that's not the point. I'm not here to compare. I'm here to look at what I did today and say, is this enough? Do I feel that I put in my due? And I did. It may not look it. It definitely was very fast. It was very consistent. But my core, if I guarantee you I could have done 405. But if I did, core would have pins and needle blown out immediately. It would have been a grind for my life set, and then tomorrow I would have been dead. And I want to be strong for every snatch day this week so that it comes back just as quickly. My clean and jerks are pretty much fine. My shoulder is going to recover slower on my snatch. So the moment my snatch feels better, I already know my clean jerk's going to be completely fine. So I have to take it that step by step instead of just doing whatever the fuck I want every single day, I was talking to some homies about it today, and it's really, I think the biggest thing that I took away was doing this kind of volume. And I know that my volume isn't impressive to most. I know it's not incredibly insane or anything. It's nothing close to like a 5x5 by any means. But it's different for me to what's relative to my progression. And when you do excess of the typical volume you're used to, it will make whatever pain you are ignorant to, or whatever sorenesses or imbalances that you have that you are just being either naive to or just don't even realize is there in the first place, they'll come out. They will beat your ass silly. Because even the first triple at 135, I was burning. But that burns what I need right now. I don't need to be putting up top singles that are super beyond what my dream weights could be. I need to be doing the conditioning right now because my left rear delt, I have to imagine that its strength is that of an infant's. That's quite literally how I treat my injuries. There's three phases to injuries, at least in my experience. And the first, again, this always depends on what injury you have. But for this, it's pulled muscle or deep strain. And phase one is basically just you are in that initial, you just messed it up and you feel those like more pinching, like abrupt, like feels like electricity shooting through your nerves type pain when you use that muscle that's been injured. That phase is where I take my break. That you should not be doing anything but body weight stretches and maybe resistance band stuff during that period, because anything with weight is just going to accentuate the already pulled muscle and even create an even deeper possible tear. And that's just dumb if you get injured right after the initial injury. So that's why y'all didn't see me for about 4 or 5 days a couple weeks ago. Now the second phase, while it's nice that I get to work out and throw some weight, there is going to be immense amounts of soreness, immense amounts of weakness compared to what I'm used to. Even if I have some off days on the normal program, this is like, it's going to be a forced deload, essentially. Not because my body isn't peaked, but because one single part of my body is not aligned with the rest. And that's what you really have to pay attention to. It's the fact that your whole body's like a big team, and it's not about the individual players. It's about the conglomerate of your team itself. And your team is only going to be as strong as your weakest link. So you want everybody to be on the same page. You want everybody to be putting in the same amount of effort. Because even if they are weaker naturally, genetically, you can still get them to a point where you can crush it, even if it's lacking compared to the rest of your body. And that's where my left rear delt, just my left shoulder in general, is at. I didn't realize the imbalance was there for so long because I'd been doing narrow bench. My technique on several things were slightly off, and now I'm growing. The weights are getting too heavy to not fix these things that, I could say that I should have or could have had them fixed in the past, but we don't work off that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda is not real. That's some bullshit just to make you feel bad, and you could just be putting in more effort now instead of worrying about it. So it's more so that I'm just allowing my left rear delt to play catch up while it's a little baby. And then once we get it caught up with the rest of the team, then we can do whatever we want. That's when we're going to stop plateauing and getting injured all the time and just get to do whatever the hell I want. And I'm excited for that because easily, I was peaked for it. Easily. It was so there. It was completely ready, and it's going to be there again. But just because I know it's going to be there, just because I want it to be there, doesn't mean I can force it, you know? We're going to take our time. We're going to let it recover at its own pace, and when we get there, we get there. You know, it's not about how fast you do it. It's about the efficiency. It's about the time management, the attention that you bring toward those ways that you lack. They can be the most important learning experience you could have in any passion you do. And not only that, it can make other parts of your passions show. You could see even more imbalances, basically, you know. And this has really shown me that, one, I need to do a little bit more conditioning. Just a little bit. You know, this is why I want to get back in the normal program so bad, because even 3 working sets is plenty for me to feel like really strong in my core. But for the most part, it's just moving at your own rate. You know, as much as I missed the normal program and as much as I'm ready to get back on it, it'll be there. It's the same as it'll be waiting for me exactly the same as it has been this whole time. And I'm not going to sit and accept it when I want to. I'm going to accept it when my body's ready to, because that's the whole essence of having proper training that can actually allow you to grow. At least that's just me. Physically, you know, it wasn't the best day, but I'm very proud of the form, especially, and just being able to push through that extraordinarily tiresome day, even if it didn't feel that great. I'll give it a really solid 8.2. You know, it was definitely a good day. You know, there was nothing against that. It was kind of baseline. But again, with my core as tired as it was, we pushed it, and I did good, and can't be upset about that. Mentally, solid 8.5, right in the middle there. It's just, again, it's kind of just a chill kind of day, you know, and it's nice. It kind of brings you back to the ground level for a minute. You know, it allows you to recuperate and remember that you can give yourself a day. You know, it's not a big deal. You can just hang out and maintain for once instead of killing your body when you really just need just a day to rest, you know? And I especially want to go hard tomorrow because I have snatches and bench press, and those are the ones that I've been wanting to see the most growth through. So, I'll be back as always, you know. Gotta keep making the effort every way that I can. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be snatch and bench press, so we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna, really go crazy, but I want to really feel out what feels good. That's the biggest thing. So I think I really have no idea what I'm going to do snatch-wise, if I'm going to keep doing the triples or if I'm just going to do one comfortable top single. I will, however, for sure be doing, I believe, sets of 5 on bench. I'm going to do sets of 5. I just don't know if I'm going to do today where I did sets of 5 every single set, or if I'll do the normal program where I do 3 working sets. But either way, take it by day. You know, it will get there. I'm not worried about that. It's just, I'm going to keep showing up. Sorry for the lowdown energy. I know I'm just honestly more tired than anything. I didn't have a whole lot to talk about, but I still wanted to express whatever was in the brain and just get it out, you know? So I appreciate y'all hanging out, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.